Once upon a time, in a small village on the shores of Lake Toba, there lived a husband and a wife with his beautiful daughter named Seruni. She always helps her parents when they're working in the field that the results were used to sufficient the daily needs. One day, Seruni had to work in the fields by herself. She was accompanied only by her dog named Sitoki. Arriving at the field, Seruni just sat pensively looking at the natural beauty of Lake Toba, while the dog Sitoki comes sit beside Seruni staring at his master's face that looked like she was facing a problem. These last few days, Seruni always looked moody. This is because her father would set her up with a young man who still considered her own cousin. In fact, she had a relationship with a young man in the village and has also promised to live together. This situation makes her confused, not knowing what to do, and started to give up. On one side, she doesn't want to disappoint her parents, but on the other side, she also could not bear to be apart from her sweetheart. After thoughtfully for a moment and without any results, Seruni getting up from where she sat, with tears in her eyes, she walked slowly toward Lake Toba. She was very desperate and wanted to end her life by jumping into Lake Toba, while Sitoki, who also followed his master to the shores of the lake, can only barking because he didn't know what was going on in the minds of Seruni. She suddenly fell into a hole of big rock and got into the bottom. And because it is located at the bottom of a very dark hole, making the pretty girl got scared and cried for help. However, since Sitoki only an animal, then he cannot do anything except barking constantly around the mouth of the hole. Finally, the girl was getting desperate and saying to herself, "I'm better off dead." After saying that, somehow the walls of the hole began to close. "Parapat! Parapat roll!" Seruni exclaimed that stone walls getting closer and pressed her body. Sitoki saw what happened and immediately ran into the house to ask for help. Then Sitoki immediately approached Seruni's parents, who already at home, while barking, clawing the ground and paced around his master. Sitoki tried to tell that Seruni was in danger. Conscious of what is hinted at by the dog, Seruni's parents immediately headed to the fields. Both of them ran after Sitoki to get to the edge of the hole, where their girl fell. When they heard her screams of the hole, the mother immediately made a torch as a light because it was already dusk, while the father ran back to the village to ask for help from neighbors. A little later, most of the neighbors went towards the hole where Seruni fell. Several times they shouted her name, but got no answer from Seruni. Only heard Seruni's drifted voice, which told rocks around her to move closer and pressed her body. Suddenly, sound of thunder, and the earth was shaken, which makes holes slowly and closed by itself. After the shaking stops, at the top of the closed hole, it appeared a large rock that resembles the body of a girl that seems to hang on the wall of the cliff at the edge of Lake Toba. People who saw the incident believe that the rock is an incarnation of Seruni and later renamed as the Batu Gantung. And since the last Seruni sayings heard by residents only Parapat, Parapat, and Parapat, then the area around Batu Gantung later was named